Howdy folks, just getting back in here. Going to continue Mount Logmore from yesterday. Actually misspelled that when I uploaded it to YouTube. I thought it was Longmore. It's Logmore. Regardless, we're going to play it either way, whatever the name of it is. I noticed, watching my own video, checking it out, I noticed the picture quality was really kind of shitty. Even though the file size was 1 gigabyte per hour of gameplay, the output quality still looked like crap. So I made a couple settings changes, try and get a better output quality. I don't know if it'll work or not, but we are ready to go, with the exception of figuring out what we're doing next. You'll remember, well, you won't remember, you probably haven't watched the first part of this series, but we're opening up these hidden areas. We're hitting the waypoints. We're carrying fuel and repair points. I was carrying just fuel, and then very rudely discovered that I had a need to carry repair points as well. I climbed this steep rise, and as I topped over it to go down the other side, I discovered that it was not a gentle slope. It went down that hill about 60 miles an hour and bashed in the front end of the truck at the bottom. I could drive it, but it was spitting and sputtering. So now I carry repair points on me. I'm looking at what if there's any vehicles we need to unlock. I see there's a Freightliner over there, and that's not all that far from this watch point. It's kind of between the two watch points, so maybe we'll run up there and get that. We'll open up these two watch points. You can see on the previous video, I just followed the asphalt road. You could see the road go in here, you could see it come out there. So I just followed it around and thought maybe I'd find a convenient way to get up to that watch point. I didn't see any roads going up that way. This one kind of goes in this way, but then it comes back out right about here. So maybe after Freightliner, get this watch point, do Freightliner, come down this road, and come in here and just check out where it goes. If it doesn't go the right way, we'll make our own. But that's the plan for right now. I'm at the fuel station. So let's make a waypoint here. Try to follow the corners of the road so that the compass is generally correct. See how the line goes here, the road is here. That's what I mean by trying to keep the compass pointing the right direction. If you could make the line follow the road more easily, you'd have to use a lot more little waypoints. But then there's our watch point we want to get to, however we get to it, one way or the other. And then we'll go from there. Let's get the Maz fired up. Hey, it's daytime. W. I turned up the game audio just a little bit more. Turning it back up incrementally. I turned it way down when I was working on mic settings, getting my voice loud enough to hear it. Need some water. And now I'm working on turning it back up a little bit so you can hear the vehicle. Well, turn left to get out of the fuel stop, and then can barely make this corner. The Maz is an awesome vehicle to do these maps with. But do not expect a good turning radius. See, now there's a road right there. I'm going to do this often through the game when I see these roads. Yep. That's where we want to turn. See, this is what this is exactly what I'm talking about with the waypoints, the line you follow, the compass. The line says I should go off over the hill, as well as the compass. If you're just looking at the line, if you're down here just looking at the line and the compass, you know, you'd never see that turn. You got to get the camera up here where you can see around you. So I need to go this way. Someone just texted me on my phone over there. Maybe I'll let off the gas here long enough to check and see what it is. I won't make any other comment than that, lest it come back and bite me in the ass later. Oh, I don't even have it in four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive. I was wondering, why won't it climb up over that little dinky boulder there? It's not even in all-wheel drive, and it's going through this mud. I find that kind of funny. Went through all that mud without even all-wheel drive. Is that a watch point? Do you have to hop across those little islands? It wouldn't be the first time I've seen something like that. I had another map where you had to reach a scavenge point by crossing the ocean, but you had to go from one island to the next. But according to this, we're nowhere near the watch point. Huh. I'm almost tempted to check that out though, if I can. Yeah. text is nothing I need to address right this moment. I'm sure you guys are all happy to hear that. There is a little mud trail going out to there. Out to the, geez. Me and my dumbass brain. I'm pointing at the screen and like you guys can't see my finger. Mouse pointer. There's a little mud track going right out to here. And I suppose in theory you could ford this. See, it picks up on the other side. Not sure if you're supposed to be able to come in and out over here. If it would be too deep. That might be just a decoy to make you sink your truck. Get to there and then sink in between them, but of course this whole thing could be a decoy just to get you out there and make you sink your vehicle. But perhaps looks like you could come in from this side too. Maybe. Perhaps once we open this up, we'll be able to see more in that regard. But right now, the watch point is dead to our left. And that thing is dead to our left. I think that's the watch point. Generally there's a flag on it. And it seems too close to be. But distances on the map and distances in reality, I'm finding in this game have not much meaning to each other. I think we need to try and get out there. Give me my camera back. Can we go down this bank? I mean, yeah, we can go down it, but I mean, can we go down it and get back up without getting stuck? And how deep is the water? I've got another vehicle that has a high snorkel. Let's try some four-wheel drive and diff lock this time. Hey, this is okay. And there's the flag. It pops up. I'm not even going to go up on that island. I don't need to. The flag pops up after we're halfway out here instead of looking at it from the bridge. Ta-dong, there's the little bell that you guys can probably barely hear. You know, I'm going to go to... I'm sorry about the interruption, but that's kind of bothering me. I'm going to go to main menu in touch that setting a little bit. I hope that's, you know, not too much. I've been moving it in smaller increments, and it seems to not make much of a difference when you move it just a tiny bit. Loading, loading, loading. The screen keeps on loading. Here we are. I made a pretty good adjustment, and it still doesn't seem very loud to me. Maybe I'm mostly hearing myself rather than the game. Let's figure out where we're going from here. What's with all the markers? Does that mean it's I don't know, I can't imagine what that means. Does that mean it's shallow enough to drive through until you get over here and then you're gonna sink? I see you can cross here. Let's pull back and see what the rest of this looks like. Got scavenge sites over here that we may end up visiting. Seems funny that I'm pointing north when I thought I came across this bridge. I suppose I turned north to get out there even though I was traveling south. At any rate, there's no reason to go down into this corner. There's my bell. I want to play with that too. I like my bell. But anyway, I digress. There's that place I said you can cross. We're just going to go out here in the water. We're just going to back up, kind of whip a U-E, 3-point turn, get back on this road, and go back to doing what we said we were going to do. Turn past the Bison, go up here, unlock the Freightliner. One of the things you will see on the end screen when you finish the level is whether or not you unlocked everything. And then we'll come down here. This has got to be some kind of land bridge or something. And we'll head for this watch point, and that's the last watch point to open up. And then we can move on with moving logs from A to B. The two lumber mills, the only lumber mills, are up there, and they need 8 points apiece. I learned a lesson last game when there were lumber mills close together like that. They do not share points. You can haul $20 points into one lumber mill when it needs 8. You will not get any points in the other one. The lumber mill your vehicle is parked in will eat up all the points. They don't share. So it says some waypoints. Let's see, start here. get back on land, get back on the road. The corner, this corner, going up this way. It'll only let you set so many waypoints, X number of waypoints, in a line like this. After that, it just starts running them in a straight line across the map. So I'm just going to leave it at that. We'll plan to get that far and then go from there. So let's put these back on. We exited to the main menu, so it turned them off. Parking brake's not on. Let's check out where we're backing up to. The water seems shallow enough that it doesn't really matter. It starts to get deep. Oh yeah, it will get deep. It will get deep. But it's not too deep yet for us to care about it. Not deep enough for the mast to care about it. We could probably go up that other side and up over there and come up across the other side of the bridge, but why push our luck when we've got this easy exit right here? Damage? Why is it, I suppose it did 1 point of damage. We're gonna have to drive into this hill. I was trying to steer toward the bridge, so we didn't end up having to do this big 3-point turnaround up here, but then it won't climb the hill. Come on, get past the guardrail. There we go. It's not a precision vehicle. It's kind of a blunt instrument. They put it that way. It's Russian made, and so I guess blunt instrument is a good name for it. It's very well made. It's very tough. It'll go anywhere. But don't expect great handling. The bell is better about, oh yeah, we were going to unlock them. No, we already unlocked that. My goofy brain, it's the other one up at the end of this road that we need to unlock. Kind of like the Russian tanks in World War II. Nothing sophisticated about them. Very roughly made. But very tough. We say strong. Strong tank. Well, this is a strong Maz. We'll bump that Freightliner, and that'll, we can unlock it by simply doing this. just getting inside the circle. But if we bump him, we'll take the tarp off. We can see what he looks like. Home for sale. Gotta love that. You know, I kind of like lonely places, being by myself. Looks like a good house for me. As long as my kids can come visit. Alright, we need to make a 90-degree left, because this little path doesn't lead anywhere good. The house looks like a good fixer-upper, don't you think? Put some windows in it. Maybe fix up the plumbing. Wouldn't be surprised if the floors are a little weak. Like that. Like that. Like that. And trying to follow the road as good as I can without being able to really see it past the distance marker that it puts on the screen. I mean, I can physically follow the road with my eyeballs, but I like for the waypoint indicator in the compass to be fairly correct. And then finally, we want to get out here. I'm going to back up a little bit for this. Yeah, it's a nice... Where's my camera? That'd be a nice fixer-upper, don't you think? Big house. My kids could live with me there. Versus the little 22-foot travel trailer that I'm in now after the divorce. That's a different story. She got the house, I got the travel trailer. But I didn't want to get into a court battle and make the kids move. Back to the game. This is a windy sucker. Oh! We want to make sure we're spot on for this. I said that it looked like there was some sort of bridge along the way. Maybe a land bridge? Well, it's this crickety wood thing that the Maz is almost too big for. And look at that, when when you get it going one way, when you get it turning one way, it doesn't like to correct. It doesn't like to correct the steering, come back the other way. It likes to just keep going the way it's going. Well, there's a road there. This is the road I was talking about. When I was on this road over here, I saw a little piece going off that way, and I figured that it probably did nothing but connect with that. And it looks like the evidence bears that out at this point, but we'll see where it goes. So far, it's going towards our watchtower. There's more to it than originally thought. Of course, with it hitting, I couldn't see that it goes back in here. But now it's heading away from the watchtower. Oh, and all it does is connect with the other. It's just a shortcut across the loop. All it is a shortcut across the loop, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second. On the first video yesterday, I was sitting here contemplating that there might be a shortcut, or even just making my own shortcut across the neck here, instead of doing all this. That was when I hadn't even opened up the highway. All I saw was it went here and came out there, and I was contemplating just going straight across. Now I see that there is a road that goes across, but that doesn't help us for the watch point. So I see with my little eye a couple options of getting up on top that hill. I would bet money up on top of that hill is where the watch point is. They usually are up on top of a hill like that. I can go right up through here and come down here and climb that. This appears to have less trees to mow down. And maybe avoid that big drop off that I couldn't really see till I got up here. Yeah, there it is. Look. Now I can look up and see it. We won't have any trouble getting up there. Not in this thing. The billy goat, it had to downshift. That's why it stopped for a second. I don't think I'm even going to change my course for that tree. The big rock that I bounced off of made me change my course. We're on top of the mountain. Let's stop and not go rolling back down the other side. Hit the parking brake right here. This looks like a good place for a screenshot. Maybe get one like this too. If I can roll the camera back a little bit. God, it's hard to position this thing. Okay, you can't zoom out far enough. You can use the scroll wheel to zoom in and zoom out, but it only goes that far. I like pictures, and I have not been taking the time to stop and take pictures because the longer I record, the bigger the file size is. But that's good for now. Let's get out of here. We have to get back down. I'm not. That looks like a big drop off. Yeah. That is too sharp. The Maz would go down it, just like dropping a rock off a building. But I'd max out my damage points when it hit the bottom. This looks better over here. Actually, this looks real nice. That's too much of a drop off. This is the way we came up. Spin it around. What's that look like? We could also come down here. Just have to go through some trees. I think what we want to do at this point, thinking ahead of just getting off this hill, is do garage, fuel station, and refit to start picking up logs. Now there's a log station here that I have not driven through. Typically at a log station, you can gather logs without the use of a crane. And I could haul a trailer in there that gives me an entire 8 points. 2 8-point trips and we're out of here. But you also get points. You don't get points. You get recognition for hitting the scavenge points. Whether you pick up logs from them or you just drive by them. And it'll tell you that in the beginning, but in the loading screen. But all I saw that it said was like hit the waypoints, hit the watch points, open up the garages, and deliver logs. There's a lot down here in this corner we haven't hit. Maybe we'll take the bell up through this side of the map, and we'll keep the Maz on this side of the map. I want to drive the bell. I want to do something with the bell. Okay. Done thinking, start doing. File size is getting bigger by the second. So we'll I'll start my watch point, or my waypoint down here, expecting to end up at the garage up there. And how I get off the hill, we'll just wing it. Get off the hill on a wing and a prayer. We got up Going down shouldn't be so bad. Down's the easy part, right? Well, maybe not so much in this thing, because it likes to run away with itself. Alright, let's see. If I turn right, well, actually, if I back up first and turn right, I can go down that side. Ooh, backing up doesn't look like a great proposition, but it'll be alright. We're in the Maz. Okay, stop. That's enough backing up. No, I didn't leave a way marker, so I'm going to stop here. I mean, the way marker is, the compass is pointing the opposite direction. Yeah. Let's try and follow the compass if we can. There we go. Perfecto. Exactly what I meant to do all along, right? All skill. No luck. No checking the map 6 times. Alright. You have to keep hitting reverse going downhill to apply the brake. First thing it does when you hit the S key is apply the brake. And if you stay on it long enough to bring the vehicle to a complete stop, then it starts to reverse. But you can control your speed downhill. I think I've said in every video that I've made for Mud Runner, whoa, turn back this way, that it would be so awesome to do this with a wheel and pedal setup versus the WASD keys on the keyboard. I've watched, oh, a little guardrail. What's a little guardrail for the Maz? I've watched a guy that's actually good at this play this game. He's got a wheel and pedal set up. With a little joystick for shifting. And man, he can drive these things like nobody's business with that setup. There's the lumber mills that we'll end up visiting. He can take, whoa, don't hit the pole. He can take what I do in a 2 or 3 hour video and do it in 1 hour. Now, we do need to get rid of our gas. In exchange for being able to carry logs. Even though the fuel station's right around the corner. And we have 600 gallons of fuel in these barrels that we never touched. So first we have to click on that, then we have to free up the camera so we can move it and bring the camera around. Then we have to lock the camera and do that. There's a lot of locking and unlocking the camera. We do have repair points. We were carrying 800 repair points and never needed them. We only did 1 damage. And that was like a little rock. So I guess at this point we just reconfigure. Get out of advanced mode. And reconfigure. Here you go. See what's installed. We'll get rid of the fuel barrels. I know that we're gonna lose all that fuel. We'll get rid of our utility add-on. We're gonna lose all of our repair points. Besides fuel. We do still have the roof rack, which has a little measly 80 liters in it. 80 liters. Now, whether we need a crane or not depends on this. Typically at a log station, you just pull up, tell them what you want, and you're good to go. So, do I plan for that and not bring a crane? Just make sure I'm configured to carry 8 points. I think from past experience, that's what I'm gonna go for. This cart platforma will carry 4 points of medium logs and has a 487 liter fuel capacity. I don't think we're so far away from the logs that we need all that fuel capacity, but what happens if we put that on and then we grab a 4-point trailer? That carries 4 points of medium logs. This carries this carries 8 points of logs and 533 liters of fuel. But that's a little overkill. Unless I was gonna, you know, just load the trailer with 8 points and not worry about what's on the truck. It's this medium log trailer. That doesn't carry any fuel, and it's strictly just 4 points of logs. So between the truck and the trailer, that would be an 8-point load. In theory, I could deliver 12 points in one shot. But I'd still have to make a second trip to get the other 4 points. So with this setup or that setup, I still have to make 2 trips. Now, where was the other one? The Platforma. That carries logs and fuel. Okay, that's what I got on the vehicle. When I double clicked it, I didn't notice that it already said installed. Dummy. So then all we really need is this medium log trailer. And we can go get 8 points of logs. And we'll fuel up, we'll hit the fuel station, we'll fill up our fuel capacity on the Platforma. Alright, what do you say we get out of the garage? Go down here to the fuel stop, it's just right around the corner. Can I get the camera somewhere? It's working better. Maybe after, yeah. After I leave the garage, then yes. Oh, come on. I just wanted to try and avoid that tree, and it shoots clear to the other side of the road. How can I even get in the fuel stop? Come on, come on. Make the corner. Make the corner. You can do it. I love how they put these light poles or power poles on either side, which will fuck up your vehicle if you hit them. That's full. Fill this up, and the truck's full. So we're out of here. Yes, I did notice the truck bump a little, wiggle a little bit when I cut it a little close to one of those pumps. Before we go too far, let's figure out how we're getting there. Okay, that's easy enough. Go off the road there. Follow this little snake trail up to here. Come across, well, we could come down the embankment, go cross country, come in this way, and then come back out this way. I think I kind of like the idea of doing it the other way around. Come in this way, and once we're loaded, either come out this way or come up the embankment over here and back onto the bridge. Instead of trying to turn around, do a U-turn at the log station, that's no good. Past experience tells me that's no good. Maybe we could go, maybe this would be better while we're still light rather than loaded. And plans can change once we get down here. But we gotta get there first. Oh yeah, I put the parking brake on so it wouldn't keep rolling backwards. So I suspect we have to follow this road right here. Yep. Vehicles over 40 feet prohibited. I keep accidentally hitting the spacebar key with my thumb. The way you position your fingers over the WASD keys, it puts your thumb over the spacebar. And there are other games I play where I would use the shift key with my little finger and I would use the space bar with my thumb to jump. And the shift key to run. Come on. Oh, I don't have it. There we go. Don't have it in four-wheel drive. All-wheel drive. Come back to the right. Don't keep trying to climb the hill. I mean, I would climb the hill. That's the bridge. Oh, this is the watch point we opened up. And where I talked about going cross country is on the opposite shore right there. And we're gonna have to do a little 3-point turn here. We came up so close to the inside guardrail, we couldn't clear the outside guardrail. And I still got to think about getting the trailer around it. Even though I'm not looking at the trailer, I can imagine I can picture in my mind what it's doing. It's getting closer and closer to that corner as I turn right. I hauled a semi for a long time. Drove a semi for a long time. So, kind of familiar with the mechanics of making a corner with a trailer, but I'm contemplating going down here and crossing where you see these little humps of land. I bet it's shallow enough to get it right up in here and then go up the hill, because I'm not climbing over that. That'd mean going way around that and having to bash down all this forest to get over there where it looks more wide open anyways. I think that's what I'll do. Am I too far along to turn left? Maybe not. I can see the bottom. Just got deep enough to say dangerous water level. But then you go up over the island. Here again, a couple little low spots. No big deal. I wish I could do a Russian accent. No, I'm not even going to try it. I could say strong Max, but that's about as much as I get. Very strong. Max very strong. You gotta roll that R. I'm gonna have Russians yelling at me. That is not how you say it. As we try and go around the south side of the pile or the north side of the pile. There's not much of a gap over here between the logs and the logs station. Oh, there isn't any. Okay. I thought there might be one of those stands there. I got stuck on one of those. So I'm leery of those stands. I got stuck on one. Parking brake. So we don't roll backwards. Choose a load for your truck. 4 points of medium logs. It's all we can carry. So you can't carry this, can't carry that. Truck is loaded. We switch to the trailer. Same thing here. Can't carry this. Can't carry that. 4 points medium logs. Well, we brought a medium log trailer, so it stands to reason. Now we have enough logs here to top off one whole log station, or lumber mill, I mean to say. Let's get rid of those waypoints. Start a new set. Again, I'm putting them close together on all these curves just so I can more or less keep the compass pointing me the right direction. Over longer strips, you know, it's just following the road. And I think, well, not think, I know for looking at the map, it'd be closer to go back up here the way we came in than all the way through this loop. So we'll turn right, go across the bridge, and then we'll follow this little trail through. See, we can't, that's the end of where we can put waypoints. Used them all up. So when we get across the bridge, we'll look for that road going to the left, and we pretty much know how to get back there from that point. If you can avoid those stumps, it's not a bad idea, because they don't give. Not that I couldn't rumble over them if I had to, but it bounces your vehicle all over the frickin' place. I can't see it, but I must need to make a right turn there. Now why am I down here in the trees and I'm supposed to be following that road? Oh, it's a very hard right turn. There it is. I'm not gonna back up again. I'm just gonna mow this shit down. Make the corner big enough for the strong crowds. Just widen out that corner. Make room for the strong commands. I'll get rid of those. Wish I could get my view somewhere else. Hey, that ain't bad. That's not too bad. Just don't. Just don't steer the way I'm looking unless I need to. Like in a car. You look to the right, you steer to the right. You look to the left, you steer to the left. It's just instinct. It's just involuntary. And it's hard to overcome. In real life, oops, I think that's our road. In real life, this load would not make it underneath that bridge. See how it was clipping through the steel beams? Now we just follow this mud road. Probably have to put it back in four-wheel drive, I suppose. I keep calling it four-wheel drive when this thing has 8 wheels on it. See what we can do in two-wheel drive. I don't even have the diff lock in, let alone the all-wheel. Maz 731 strong. It don't need all-wheel drive except for this whoop-de-doo that we probably won't be able to climb out of. Look at that shit. Do that with a different vehicle in this game. Where's my view? Do that in something else without putting it in all-wheel drive. Without being in all-wheel drive, it only has 2 drive wheels putting power to the ground. And it just got stuck on a rock. Let's see if nothing but the diff lock will get us through. Let's try and steer clear of this rock on our left. Of course, we could have done it quicker and probably burned less fuel if we just went ahead and put it in all-wheel drive. I just think it's cool that it did all that without it. Went off the edge of the road a little bit. Oh, we don't need the garage. We're not looking for the garage. We're looking for that little road right there. Come on, I can't. There we go. It's a lot easier when you can see what the front wheels, what the steer wheels are doing. And easier if you can see where you're going past the logs too. Road coming up the hill? Or is that supposed to be asphalt? Now we can completely top off one of these. Trailer doesn't even have to be in here. Quick little story. Previous map, Grizzly Mountain, there were 2 lumber mills right next to each other like this. I thought if I left the trailer on this side of the line and the truck on that side of the line, it would split up the points, give the trailer points to one side, give the truck points to the other. Nope, it doesn't do that. Now one more 8-point trip would finish this map. But I don't want to... I mean, I could go back, get one more load, deliver it to the other lumber mill, and we're done with this map. In the final screen, it's going to say that we, you know, 0 of whatever scavenge points discovered. So I think I'm going to just shut off the Maz right where it is. Since we're so close to the garage anyways that it doesn't matter. It isn't like we're going to run out of fuel getting to the garage. We have 421 liters in here. And we have 80 liters on top. And then we have what in the platform of 429? We have fuel coming out the ass is the point. I think what I'd like to do is go jump in the bell. Oh, there's a log station right there. That's another place where you could pick up a whole 8 points worth of logs in one trip. But the only place to put fuel in the bell is back up here. No reason to go down through that corner whatsoever. We could use this Chevrolet Bison to take fuel to the bell. We could use the Ford to take fuel to the bell, but you couldn't pay me to do that. That'd be the last option. Let's see if we can run this up, drive this Chevrolet Bison up to the garage. Reconfigure it to haul fuel. Take fuel to the bell, and then go play around with the bell a little bit. I loaded the bell into the game so I could play around with it. The Maz is very strong, but I like driving the bell too. Just the bell, I think. Gosh, I'm trying to remember. I think the max load it can carry is a single 4-point medium load. But anyway, let's hop into this. Take this thing for a spin. What fun is it to drive just one vehicle all the time? This has a 309 liter fuel attachment. No, those are repair points. I misspoke. Those are repair points. As it's configured, it wouldn't carry fuel. Hello? Oh, I have to get out of advanced mode. I was pushing the W key to start it and it wasn't doing anything. I was in advanced mode. Okay, all-wheel drive always, diff lock always. take a look at how we're getting there. Don't think I want to go around the big loop. I think I'll try and run it through. Since it has all-wheel drive, I think I'll try and take that shorty cut. I just need to know where the turn is. I don't need to know where all the corners are. Turn is there. Then we go through this. And we go north. And then we make our way back to the bell with gasoline. I wouldn't bother with bringing fuel to the bell, except I know they always start you off with such a tiny amount. You know, half a tank or less. Someone forgot to close the latch on that door. Headlights would be good. This thing steers so differently than the Maz. It's very responsive compared to the Maz. And I need to... There we go, get up here. I think they're all-wheel drive on this, and strictly the drive axles. I don't see the steer axles doing a thing. And it doesn't even, it has highway tires on it. Maybe I should have just used the Maz to take fuel to the bell. But I was trying to keep the Maz on this side of the map. It made it. And we just ran past our last waypoint. Boy, this thing. The steering. On the Maz, you gotta mash the button. On this thing, it doesn't take much of a push to get it going the wrong way. Or get it turning too far. There's a delay. At first, when you first push the button, it doesn't do anything. So you keep pushing it, and then it goes way too far. almost to the garage because there's the lumberman. And going really fast does not help the steering issue. If you could see what my fingers are doing on the A and the D keys for right and left. Stop! Reconfigure. This vehicle is not suited for off-roading. No kidding. Everything says unavailable. We'll have to uninstall this and then see what we have. Okay, a lot of stuff just became available. Do we have a fuel cistern? I saw it. $1,400 liters. Now that good old gasoline. Although by the sound they would be diesel engines. Truck should have a diesel engine in it. Except for the Maz. It should have a diesel engine in it. But it doesn't sound like a diesel engine. It sounds like a very large cubic inch gas engine. Come on, just stop. There's 1,400 liters. And we can just leave this in a convenient place for the Maz. And interesting fact, if you're pulling a fuel trailer and you expect to just leave that trailer somewhere and be able to pull alongside of it and take fuel from it, think again. That trailer has to have a vehicle hooked to it in order to dispense fuel. Figured that out on the last video or the last map. I was using this K9000 thing, and I had to unhook from my log trailer and hook up to the fuel trailer to put fuel in the K9000. Couldn't fuel the K9000 without hooking up to the fuel trailer. How do we get down to the bell without doing a lot of mudding? I think that would be too much for this vehicle because of that big dip right there. I mean, you can go all the way around. We could have even brought this Western Star up around this way to the fuel and then back. I don't know. Horse apiece. From here, like this to the fuel, or from over there, all the way around. But in the end, we have to get back down here. And I'm thinking about the least off-roading with this vehicle. Shortest route be back the way we came. And we made it through there when we didn't have what, 10,000 pounds worth of fuel? I don't know about making it through there with all that weight. I know in theory the weight gives you better traction. But it can also make you sink into the mud deeper and make it harder to. Those steer tires are not powered, so those that steer axle, it's going to want to dig in more. I drove lots of semis through deep snow and shit. And even if you flip that little lever that says diff lock on the dash, I can't see where that pole is. Oh, I'm plenty far away from the pole. I can come back. Even if you flip that little lever on the dash that says diff lock, it doesn't mean the steer axles have power. That steer axle can get you hung up, and then the drives just sit there and spin. That's why when you see me, you may have noticed when I was trying to climb that hill and just spin and spin, and I was bumping the steer tires right and left. Just in case there was something in front of the steer tire. Driving this thing is a bitch. That it didn't want to go over, maybe go around it. But we're going to try it. Maybe we'll have to bring the bell up here. Maybe we'll have to bring, if we get stuck in the mud down there, I'll bring the bell this way. I'll bring the bell to the fuel and drag this thing out. I know this is getting to be a long video. Maybe once I get to the bell, I'll end it there and call this an episode 2 or a part 2. Now I know that turn is close and that's what I'm looking for. Maybe we'll make Mount Logmore a 3-part video. There's the turn. When the fog comes in, it's almost as bad as it being dark. Are the headlights on? Yeah. Check the map quick. Yeah. Just confirming. That was the hill we had trouble getting up. But this way we're going down it. Now on the other end, we want to get back up on the asphalt. That's where we gotta go. Up a little hill, I think. Right here there's some deep mud. But there's no hill, so we made it just fine. Outstanding. Let's see. Set myself a few waypoints now. Here. Here. And down in here. Kind of follow this through. This is very likely all mud. This road here. I came up that road with the Maz in the first video, and I can't remember if that was dirt or asphalt. Whoops. I accidentally clicked on the Maz. I'll have to go back to the Bison. I honestly can't remember if that was dirt or asphalt. I like the little dirt driveway into the garage. But then there's windows. Right there where you'd be parking your car. How does that work? How's there a front room right there where you park your car? That one has a similar affair. Oh, here's our turn, and it is dirt. Oops. There I go, putting the parking brake on it. Well, maybe that's not dirt. Maybe that's just a crappier layer of asphalt, like going up into the lumber mill. Let's try and keep it on the asphalt. Come on, truck. Wish the steering would cooperate better. Now there's mud. End county maintenance. You see that sign? I'm gonna back up a little bit. I know I'm wasting time doing this shit, but end county maintained road. We have those signs around here where I live. I'm just gonna keep the throttle on. Try and bust through with the least worry here. Speed helps too, getting through mud. Boonie bash it. That's where the Ford is, the little F-150 is parked. And there's nothing to do there. It's not a lumber station or garage or anything. I don't think it's a garage. No. Because I would have had to unlock it for it to be a garage. It's just where the pickup is parked. And there's a road past that going down into here where I want to go with the bell. Here's the bell. Just wanna pull up next to it. If I can, come on, move. Without running into it. There we go, that's the view I wanted. That's the view I was looking for. How close I'm getting to it. Alright, come on. Now it went too far. Alright. Quit screwing around and so you hit V and fuel cistern, and then move it around, and then click it to lock the camera position, and then fully fuel up the bell. Alright. Leave that right where it is. Change truck to the bell. And then don't go inside. I want to turn the camera. Oh, that thing's in the way for turning the camera. I guess we could do it like that. Now, what do I want to put on it for cruising around down there? I might want to actually load some logs. this is what we have. There's no slider bar over here. I don't want to haul I don't want to haul an 8-point trailer around through those marshes. And I know for a fact the only way... Let's get rid of this. Uninstalled. I know for a fact if you put the crane on it, you can only pick up 3 points worth of logs. See, here's one of the cranes. Extend anchors, turn anchors, push anchors, rotate grappler, carry and load 3 points. I think there's another crane. Okay, you can carry 6 points, but you don't have the crane. This puts, there's another part you have to put on, whatever that is. If you find that same symbol, like right here. No? Tell me we don't have the other part in this game. There was what is that? Oh, position your vehicle. I'm too close to the garage. I just have to pull ahead a little ways. Stop. There it is. I'll unlock the camera. Maybe we'll try and go around the other side. Alright. This setup, with that extending out the back there, that will let you carry I believe it's God, is it 4 points of medium logs or 8 points? Let's look at this thing again. 6 points. Okay. This piece that's highlighted here, will not, you can't put logs on this. It was a whole big deal in a different level that I have not put on YouTube. It was when I first or second level I ever played, and I recorded it, but it was such a clusterfuck that I didn't even publish it to YouTube. But I was trying to put, I was carrying just this part, and I was at a lumber pile where it auto loads, and I had a crane on it too, and it will not carry logs by itself. You have to have the other part. Then the both end, with the two ends, you can carry logs. So with that and that, we could pick up lumber from one of the automatic piles, but we could not load lumber from the scavenge areas. For that you have to have a crane, and then once you put the crane on it, all you can carry is 3 points. I don't think you can even haul a trailer with the crane on it. We could test that theory. If we could move the camera back around. And see, this is 4 points by itself. 6 points with the other thing. But I tried carrying 4 points worth of short logs on this without the trailer. I tried it, and it says your vehicle is not suited. And right here it says is required to install. This is required to install that. That still says unavailable for some reason. I actually don't care. Here's a crane. I thought there was another crane. It seems like the options have changed. There's a dump box. That would carry 4 points worth of logs, but you have no way to load them unless you're at a log, one of those automatic facilities. Or you can put a trailer hitch on it, and then you can haul in 8. Once you have the trailer hitch, you can haul an 8 point. Semi-trailer. There's 4 garage points. All that with the trailer hitch installed. What it is a fifth wheel, I believe. Four points. God, if that was just 4 points. The crane with the carrying rack. That was just 4 points. I'm thinking about not worrying about picking up logs. I think I'll just not worry about picking up logs from the scavenge points. I just want to drive past them. I get credit for opening them up. No, not the dumper. Maybe I should carry the dumper. I could still put 4 points of logs in it. In order to put this on, then I gotta haul the other thing. I like the sound of the dumper on it. I mentioned turning this into 2 parts. I think what I'm going to do is just get outside the garage, park it, so we can look at it without without that big signboard in the way. There's the bell. And on that note, I think I'm going to call it good on this video. I'll probably go ahead and record the next part right away. But I don't want this file size to get any bigger. Takes too long to upload. So we'll see you again in the next episode. Thanks for watching.